Hey guys, in today's video we're going to continue this journey of seeing if I can persuade you that right now you don't exist, and today I'm going to do it by visiting the simulation hypothesis. So make sure that Nurse has strapped you in tightly, because Kansas is about to go bye-bye. I'm sure many of you would have picked up the quote at the beginning of the video with Kansas going bye-bye. That's from the movie The Matrix. The reality was there was a real world that was the post-apocalyptic world after a war between man and the machines. So the Matrix that everybody believed to be real was the simulation, and the real world was a lot harsher, a desperate reality. What do you mean it could have been a simulation inside a simulation? Now, I don't know how Neo had powers in the real world. I didn't write the movie. What do you mean it's like the 13th floor? What is the 13th floor? Right, so it's a movie about simulations inside of simulations. Yeah, I hadn't seen it. You know, you should have prefixed that with spoiler warning before you just blurred it out. Little bit late, mate. What do you mean it's not a spoiler warning for the 13th floor? Bobby wasn't hurt and killed. It was all Pam's dream. What the hell are you talking about? What has that even got to do with anything we're discussing today? Seriously, if you've got nothing to add, just keep it zipped. Really sorry, really sorry. In its simplest form, the simulation hypothesis postulates that what we think is reality, all of this, is actually being generated by something outside of this. That what we believe to be real isn't even the base reality.
You're inside a simulation of a simulation inside another giant simulation.
My own introduction came at a family barbecue when I was about 11 years old. And I can remember my father said to me, for all we know, we could just be the dreams of aliens that are in a deep hibernation as they travel between the stars, because it's going to take them thousands of years. It just so happens that right now, one of them is dreaming about you. Or maybe you are having a dream about yourself and you are creating this reality. Do you want catch up on this burger, son? But the simulation hypothesis itself is not a new idea. When we look back through our history, every civilization has its creation stories. Usually it would involve a deity that has brought forth the world, the universe, the heavens, so on and so forth. When there's a deity involved, usually there's other realms of existence also involved, heavens and hell. So depending how you've lived your life, be it virtuous and good, and remember kids, Santa's always watching, that depending how you've lived your life, there is the afterlife. There is another reality to move into. So this is just one of the realities. In the 3rd century BC, there was a Chinese philosopher, and I'm going to murder his name, Shang-Tzu. He had a famous quote, "I've had a dream that I was a butterfly." Or am I a butterfly that's dreaming he's a man? More recently, in the 17th century, there was the French philosopher René Descartes, who put forward the idea that if we were being controlled by an evil demon that had taken control of our senses and was making us believe that everything around us is our reality, would we be able to tell the difference? It would make us believe that these are our senses, this is our body, that we have 5 fingers on each hand, whereas the true reality could be that we've got 4 arms, that we've got 6 eyes. It would make us believe anything it wanted us to believe. And it was also in the 17th century that Isaac Newton came forward with his laws of motion and the universal law of gravity that made people look at the heavens and the order of the heavens and how things were moving, and it was quite easy to start comparing it to clockwork, to the point that God had designed everything the way it was with this perfection of movement, that God was the greatest clockmaker going, that he worked with precision engineering. No, I don't think God is German. No, I don't think he is. No, I don't think God's actually got a nationality. No. So as we move forward into the modern day with computer technology advancing the way that it has done, it just seems the next logical progression that mankind's going to look at our reality and go, could we be inside a computer? Could this actually be just a computer simulation? It's going to be important as we go through the video series of examining science and the viewpoint that science may have around this whole question of, is this simulated? There are those in the scientific community that will look at the simulation hypothesis, and because it's not really open for experimentation, or it's very difficult to produce experiments around the simulation hypothesis, that they'd view it very much the same way as some people view religions. It can't be tested, it's not open for experimentation, therefore it's all about faith, or more importantly, it's about belief. So if the simulation hypothesis can't be put through scientific method and experimentation, there's no point even discussing it. There's others in the scientific community that will take the simulation hypothesis as a step-by-step logical progression and will reach the conclusion that because it can't be disputed, maybe we have to give it serious consideration. I do have to be careful as I lay this next bit out in front, because I do have a scientific education and I do believe in the science. But we do have to be careful when we talk about science, because science doesn't have all of the answers. When we look across our known universe, and when I say known universe, the observable universe, what we see, what we can measure, we've got an idea that lots of it is missing. As in, we don't know what makes up most of the matter, hence dark matter. We've no idea really what dark energy is, but both dark matter and dark energy make up the vast majority of the universe, so we believe. To the point that science as we know it at the moment probably can give us a good definition and description for maybe, let's be generous, 10% of the universe? Now, if you were sitting an exam and the best score you could get was to know in and out of only 10% of the exam questions, would you expect a pass mark? But that's not the fault of science. We're doing a very good job of describing the physical world as we see it. But there's lots of things that we observe that doesn't make sense to us. So saying it's not science is not a strong enough argument not to take it seriously. The failing of science is it's the measure of how we look at the world around us and how we have broken it down to give us the reasons why things are the way that they are. But we do have to be careful when we talk about science, because science doesn't have all of the answers. We don't know what makes up most of the matter, hence dark matter. We've no idea really what dark energy is, because science doesn't have all of the answers, all of the answers, all of the answers. So seeing as a computer simulation is probably the easiest one to tackle first, that's going to be the first video that we look at. If you like what you've seen so far, start to chew through those straps already so you can hit the subscribe button so it's easier to come back and find the rest of this series. But for those of you that want to take the red pill, strongly recommend it, and we'll go down this rabbit hole and we'll see how deep it goes. Look forward to seeing you again.